When we learn pranayama, when we learn these breathing techniques, it's very important that you stay calm and that your nerves stay relaxed. So you're already very familiar with practicing shavasana, with practicing corpse pose. Some people aren't very comfortable practicing corpse pose. They get antsy, they want to come out of it. If you're in that group, you should just practice corpse pose. You shouldn't start to add any breathing techniques onto your corpse pose before you've learned to help to calm yourself just in the corpse. In theory, we want to train the nerves to be calm before we start doing these breath practices. So if that's your case, you can just practice lying down and just chilling out. Otherwise, if you're like, you know what, I'm pretty comfortable, I feel like I've been practicing corpse, I'm ready, you're going to try this next technique. All right, so for this technique, I have a block for the upper back and a block for the head. So you can play with this so it feels just right, but ideally this block is going to go right in your middle upper back, and then the next block goes for your head. Okay, so that's gnarly just to kind of like chill over wood. So I'm going to put a blanket down. And then the block for your head, you can adjust it so it feels right. That's too much because I want the head to be tipped a little this way. So yeah, that feels right, just like that. All right, so I just wanted you to see what happens with the blocks. I'm going to put a blanket over it so it's not as gnarly in my back. All right, so I put my elbows down, I lift my chest, and then I lie back. Oh, it feels much better now with the blanket there. I turn the palms up and I roll the inner arm to the outer arm. And then I stretch my legs out. All right, so what this block is doing is it's suggesting, more than says, very strong suggestion to keep the chest open as we're doing this breath technique. The reason that I teach it lying down is because it's difficult to keep your posture when you're seated and to try to keep the chest open while you're doing these techniques. And it's most important that the posture stays correct so that the breathing techniques are proper, so that the lungs are properly exercised. We spend so much of the day with the shoulders rounded forward, slouching, that when we go to start these breathing techniques, to really get the lungs to open up, we want this type of posture where the shoulders roll back and the chest is open. So lying down is the best way to learn this. Start by just relaxing. We'll just take a minute of silence in Shavasana. I'm not going to say anything, just relax. All right, so now start to practice conscious breathing. And just notice that just being conscious of the breath already starts to change it. Without trying to force more air in or anything like that. Observe the lungs opening. Observe the bottom lungs, bottom of the lungs, around the bottom of the rib cage, spreading horizontally. Middle lungs, middle ribs, spreading. top ribs, top lungs, spreading, opening. And all the air out going nice and slow. So we're practicing these slower, smoother breaths that are becoming deeper. Keep your focus on what's going on, feeling physically how the lungs are opening. Keep drawing the breath all the way down into the bottom of the lungs. Not about how much you can take in, but how smooth and even you can make the transitions. Nice and smooth on the inhale. Nerves stay calm. Imagine if you ever learned to play a musical instrument. For example, can think about when I was in 4th grade, I tried to learn to play the clarinet. And I was just trying to like blow on that wooden reed and trying to make any sound, and I was blowing so hard and gnarly noises were coming out. But someone who's very refined, who's been playing for a long time, they can control and make just a very smooth, fine, even note. And then to make a longer note, they don't have to push as much as someone who's learning. So you can take this analogy into your breathing practice. Instead of trying to like push or jam, you're just trying to make smooth, even notes, smooth, even breaths. You can relax your way into deeper breathing. We're going to keep this deep breathing going. But now at the top of the inhalation, I want you to see if you can pause for a second or two. And see if you can keep integrating longer pauses without the nerves getting keyed up. You want to keep being able to play smooth, even notes instead of getting all spastic like me on the clarinet in 4th grade. And let go of the breath work completely and just relax. Gently bend your knees and roll over to your side. And press yourself up. All right, so just sit and be still for a moment. Thank you. Namaste.